Now, Rabobank's annual food and agriculture startup program is about to host its 2020 virtual pitch event. This year, 5 startups have been shortlisted for the FoodBytes program, and our next guest is one of those 5. Kimberly Bolton from Carapac has developed a new sustainable soft plastic alternative made from crustacean shell waste, and she joins us now in the studio to discuss the technology and discuss its applications. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here today. It's so exciting.
Great to have you in here, and Shellfish fans will sort of get the reference in the company name here.
Yes.
Tell us about this amazing technology, because of course when sort of shellfish, whether it's a lobster or a crab, sort of grow, they shed their exoskeleton, and for a brief time it's incredibly soft, as anyone who's had a soft shell crab knows.
Yes, indeed. So we're actually sourcing our inputs from frozen food manufacturing plants that actually de-shell the prawns and crabs and whatnot and freeze them, and that's what you get in the frozen food aisle. Those sort of plants generate about 8.1 million tons of this waste every year, and we're using that waste to make sustainable packaging alternatives.
Now, tell us about the plastic. You've got it right here. What are the particular benefits of it?
Yeah, so the particular benefits of it are that it has a really quick breakdown when you want it to. It can last for up to 2 years in stable conditions, but when you want it to break down, you can simply put it in your garden or a pot plant, and it takes 3 to 6 weeks to completely biodegrade, and it becomes a slow release nitrogen fertilizer. You can obviously also put it in a home compost bin, and it is also ocean dissolvable. So if it does end up in the ocean, it takes 48 hours, and if something eats it in that process, then it's also can act as food and will simply pass through, for example, turtle systems. Another big benefit is that it's naturally antimicrobial, so it can actually extend the shelf life of fresh food products by an extra 3 to 10 days and reduce food waste through that.
This is mind-blowing. I'm kind of like, shut up and take my money on this one. Where are you on your journey at this point in time?
We've still been in quite an early stage, but we're now building up to set up a pilot manufacturing plant and do a seed round in order to fund setting up that plant.
Tell us about the kind of technology that's involved in producing this.
Well, it does take quite a bit of time to actually process the shells, and then we take that, I can't get into the nitty gritty, but we can take that and dry it out and then make these beautiful films. And then from that point, we can use existing plastic processing machines to actually process it into packaging from that point.
I'm fascinated though to know how this idea came about. Do you have a chemical engineer who was thinking, I wonder what I can do with all my leftover prawn shells, or where did this sort of shellfish to plastic come about?
Yeah, so it all stemmed out of a program called Inventing the Future at the University of Sydney, where they take people from completely different disciplines and shove you in a team and try and solve a big world problem. So ours was the plastic problem, and we had people from agriculture, chemistry, and myself from business on the team. And we wanted to find a better solution that had a quicker, more beneficial breakdown process and did good every step along the way. The chemist on our team suggested using crustacean shells, and from there we found it could work, and we started the company, and I've just been running with that idea ever since.
Oh, fabulous. And who's involved in the team now? Is it the same group that developed it?
Yeah, so it's myself as the main person, and then I have a wonderful chemical engineer, and my 2 other co-founders are still on board, but as non-executives, because they are focusing on their PhDs at the moment.
Ah, cool. Right. So take us through the applications for this, Kimberly. Are we sort of talking about replacing the normal cling wrap that we put over top of our bowls? Are we talking about being able to put food in it, and even if you wanted to boil it in the plastic bag in hot water, or how versatile is it?
It's very versatile. We've developed 4 different types of films, so non-sticky, flexible, like this one over here.
Yeah.
You can have a feel.
I do want to have a play with it.
And then,
amazing.
yeah, we have actually also developed a cling wrap, which does stick to itself, but nothing else, which is fantastic. So you can use it as that, and that non-sticky version can be used for a whole range of bags, pouches, sandwich bags. We're really focusing on the food market, particularly fresh food, so salad bags and various different snack applications. But then we also have a semi-rigid version that's still in development that can be formed, so we can create punnets and whatnot and replace that sort of packaging.
So what I want to know is, how does it know, okay, you've done your job, you've preserved my food, now it's time to decompose? What's the trigger for you? Sending it in net of things signals, or what's going on here?
It's the exposure to soil microbes as well as excessive exposure to moisture that will break it down. So it can withstand a little bit of rain and some moisture, but when it's actually in a very high moisture environment, like placed in direct water or whatnot, then it starts to break down.
Now, you're part of the Rabobank FoodBytes program.
Yes.
What are you hoping to get out of that as a business? Is it building the network as you head into a seed round? What are your goals there?
Yes, so it's we've actually already been through Mentor Week through the program, and it's been fantastic creating those high-level connections, and that was number one, what we wanted to get out of it, as well as engage with other startups within the space and build those connections as we go into a seed round in due course.
So out of the accelerator, what is your timeframes in terms of when you're ready to go to your next stage, do your raise, and then sort of get to MVP and sort of go to market?
So we are starting to engage in commercial trials just with the processing of it, and then hopefully by early next year we'll start our raise, and by the end of next year start actually building our pilot facility.
Well, that sounds absolutely fantastic, Kimberly. Thanks for coming in to tell us about Carapac. All the best. And when you are ready to roll, please come back and talk to us again, and let's see it wrapped around something, because it's just fascinating.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me here today. This has been fantastic.
Great to have you in.
Thanks, Kimberly.
Thank you.